Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Tuesday, December 6th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarification points. Number one, the price you see over here will be moving around, and the candlestick you see right there will be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time, but I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day movement live here on video. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. Stock number one here, NIO, and really not a whole lot happened today. Now, yes, I realize that opening 30 minutes, a whole lot happened. A big gap up, only to have that gap up fall and give back all its gains. But after it gave back all its gains, it essentially went right back inside of this range where it was on Friday. So that's what I mean by nothing actually happened for more of a bigger picture other than that first 30 minutes, gap and trap, price came back down, and then just basically went back to doing exactly what it was doing all of Friday. Had the price, come down here and then continue to drop down. Okay, that's a much different scenario, but that's, like I said, just not what happened. So a very kind of goofy looking chart in the sense of opening 30 minutes was so just dramatic and so all over the place. And then after that, just went back to going sideways. So from the big picture point of view, nothing has really changed. $13.20, still that key level of resistance, near-term level of support, and the ideal level you'd want to see it stay above that purple line there, 50-period moving average at 1265. But even if that does not hold, you still have that secondary area of support, the bottom part of this sideways channel down there at the $12 mark. Next one, COMS, and big move today as the price came up here and broke through that level of resistance that I talked about previously. And after the breakout, kept on moving. So very, very impressive day. And, definitely a great way to start off the week. Going to go ahead and get rid of that level as it served its purpose now and make some new updates. First key update is just now, the newest level of resistance, and nothing fancy here, just a question of a word of the party essentially stopped today. And that was twice up here at the 15-cent mark. You can see right there. And their price got up there and both times rejected. That doesn't mean that the price can never get through it, but that is what I would definitely call, the key battleground here moving forward. The other dynamic here that's occurring is there does seem to be an, let's try that again. There we go. A nice little upwards line right there. So we have a nice uptrending trend line. Let me change that to green to represent more so a bullish dynamic. And then to just convert this all into a pattern, let's make it one color, make it easier to see. We have resistance. We have support. We have the nice move up there. Let's put a golf hole down here to make it a little more visual. And we have our bull pennant pattern. So if you like penny stocks and bull pennants, here you go. Next one, TLRY, and this one's a little tricky to talk about because it depends on your perspective. What do I mean? Well, if you're a day trader and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 10 minutes from that angle, yeah, the chart looks really, really bad. But from the bigger picture point of view, everything is still perfectly fine. Now, I realize that can sound crazy because as of right now, yeah, there's no doubt about it. There is this downwards channel that has formed. However, you got to factor in a bigger picture. And when you factor in, well, what was going on before the downwards channel? You had this big move up here. All I've now been able to do here is draw a bull flag pattern. Now, just because something's bullish in pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed it's going to keep going up. But my point here is that assuming you do care about the bigger picture point of view, then yeah, downwards channel here, nobody can refute that. But when you factor in the entire context, all that's happened is a bull flag pattern. So if you like to play bull flags, if you like to play stocks down below that $5 mark, keep an eye on this one. Next one, COSM, and overall a good day. Nothing, fantastic in the sense of the price breaking up. But when I say a good day it's just doing some consolidating. The price continues to put in these higher lows. And from a trend building perspective, that's what you want. And even from more so a pattern perspective, have that downtrend line, have that support there, have the nice upward move there. So you have yourselves actually a little bit of a bull pennant pattern within the move itself. But to just give an overall context, all that's going on right now seemingly is just some sideways consolidation within a much bigger uptrend. And as I talked about last week, still from a big picture point of view, you're going to want to watch that pink line there. If the price goes to that 200-period moving average and then crashes below there, at that point, yeah, the trend is definitely seemingly started to, take some new directions. But as of now, the price is not anywhere close to that level. Like I said, you got the little miniature bull pennant right there. So all in all, things are still fine, even though today, like I said, the price didn't explode. But unfortunately, prices can't explode every single day. From a resistance standpoint, though, very interesting trend line here that you got to think a lot of people are probably putting into play here at that level, which puts the main breakout point up there right around that 60-cent mark. But overall, nice little pattern, nice consolidation. So let's see how the week continues to play out. Next one, AMC, and not a good day at all. Not just because it was a red day, but because from a technical point of view, the price broke through two very, very important levels. And, these are levels that even if you have a surface deep understanding of charts, I'm sure you've heard of them. And I'm sure you understand that when the price is above them, you want to see them act as support. And if they do not act as support, that is definitely a big red flag. And we have that via the purple line there, the 50-period moving average, and the pink line there, the 200-period moving average, which you can see today. The price broke through both of them right there. Now, at least the price is still somewhat around that pink line, so it wasn't a complete break. But yeah, as far as that 50-period moving average, an absolute complete breakdown there. So not good at all as far as the overall chart is concerned. And it's looking like this thing has, no longer necessarily become a pullback, but very realistically could become a full-blown reversal. Although I'm not willing to call it a full-blown reversal. My kind of line in the sand there is, because it's a valid question for you to ask, okay, Clay, fine. Then at what point would you transition and say it is a full-blown reversal? And that would be this level down here at right around the 705 mark. So if it gets down to 705 and then just continues to break down through there, at that point, I would say this is a full-blown reversal. But yeah, today, not very good at all. But we'll see if the price can at least try to stabilize and maybe turn around. Real quick, I want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online training that I'm offering later on in the week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about the tool and how it can and should be used to build consistency as a trader, then definitely get signed up for the free training. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying what you've seen, then certainly get signed up for the free training. Next one, CPHI, and the last time I was looking at this one, it wasn't looking like this. What do I mean by like this? Well, this last 30 minutes was not looking so brutal. No, just because the last 30 minutes brutal does not mean that the entire chart is ruined. But yeah, it certainly, at least in my opinion, has changed the overall perspective of it, where now it seemingly is going to be more of a pullback play, meaning does this thing really look like it's going to break out? I suppose it could turn around and get some breakouts. But right now, it seems like there could be more of a pullback, which in my opinion makes 14 cents very interesting because it's we'll call it a double whammy of support. Whammy number one is you have this former breakout point right there. And, no guarantees, of course, but generally speaking, levels of resistance are broken. They tend to act as support. And then you have that purple line, the 50-period moving average, which also happens to be right at that 14-cent mark. So again, just because you have this double whammy of support does not mean it will for sure act as support, but it at least becomes plausible and reasonable to think, okay, I'm going to build a trade plan around that level because I could see it acting as support. Nobody could accuse you of saying that's some sort of random level. So keep an eye on that. From a pullback perspective, in terms of areas of resistance, main breakout area, if it does try to turn around, seemingly is right up around 21 cents. But like I said, at this point, it seems like it's become more of a pullback play, so we'll see what happens with it. Next one, TOPS, and what an absolute train wreck this one was. Everything given back in one gap down. I mean, when you stop, nope, that's right. So, I mean, think about it. The price was hanging around down here before a very, very, very impressive move. Nobody can take that away. But just like that, after a pullback on Friday, gap down, and now the price is quite literally right back to where it started. And this is what I would call a pump and dump, right? Where a price makes a great move, and then all of a sudden, in a relatively small amount of time, and this situation happened overnight, it's right back down to where it began. So yeah, pump and dump here on TOPS. As far as levels moving forward now, in case you like to try to catch falling knives and play dead cat bounces, does seem to be an interesting level right here around $2 and $2.30 if the price can break up through there. Then, of course, like I've said, no guarantees, but does it make a move up to that 200-period moving average? That seems like it's relatively reasonable because this one has shown that it can move and move very quickly. So keep an eye on that as a potential target if the price can push up through there. And then if you like to try to catch those knives and structure RVR trade plans, but this assumes that you can honor stop losses and all that, then down there right around that $1.72 mark is an interesting level. But yeah, overall, a total train wreck pump and dump. Next one, DBGI, and a very nice move today. Nice consolidation, which has created some very well-defined breakout points. So let me be very clear. When I draw this line right here and talk about 525, that's not a great discovery. I'm not trying to impress you. I assure you a lot of people are going to be watching right around the 525 mark. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same level and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movements. So as I've said a million times, there are no guarantees. But is it plausible to think that if the price comes up to 525 and can break up through there, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? Yes, in my mind, that is a more than plausible scenario. So keep a close eye on that. As far as areas of support are concerned, have a very well-developed one here down around the $4.55 mark, which is basically a combination of, you have that pink line there, the 200 period, which is right now is doing a great job of acting as support, but you also have this level down here. So I'm just going to err on the side of caution and talk about that one. But all in all, if you want to turn this into, and I would 100% understand if you're saying, I don't know, Clay, that's kind of a square peg through a round hole. Got somewhat of a bull flag here forming, and as I speak, check it out. This last 30 minutes, continuing to approach that level more and more, but I look down at the clock and the market literally just closed. So 4 o'clock now officially, so that's what the chart will end up looking like. But yeah, overall, very interesting pattern headed into Tuesday. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and a very, very rough move on this one. Just like for AMC's reason, not because it was red, because it broke through so many things. First off, it broke to the downside of what was a nice solid bull pennant pattern, which just goes to show, just because a bullish pattern forms does not mean it's for sure going to go up. So yeah, it broke down through there. So let me just get these lines out of here as they serve their purpose. But it also broke down through the 50 period moving average, broke down through the 200 period moving average. So a lot of selling very clearly showed up here on Tesla, and updates definitely need to be made with the next key overarching level of support. If this thing continues to drift down, right down there around the 179 mark. So keep a close eye on 179. In fact, maybe more of a support zone. Top of the zone being 179, bottom of the zone being right there about 177.50. So keep an eye on that. If the price breaks down through those areas, then at that point, that would be even more confirmation that the bears are not only staying strong, but getting that much stronger. If the price does try to turn around, first key level resistance to watch very closely going to be that pink line there, 200 period moving average valued at, let's just call it 184.50. Next one here, TQQQ, which is an ETF that allows you to play the NASDAQ. So if you think that the NASDAQ market as a whole is going to rise, then you could buy this one, and it just allows you to get involved in a much lower price point, which is why this one is, you know, the most popular ETF out there right now as far as the amount of shares and volume is concerned. But not quite as bad as Tesla, but like Tesla in some senses, bad day today because it broke through so many areas of support. First off, that green line that I talked about on Friday, then it broke down through that purple line, 50 period. But you can see here, it's fighting and actually got up above that 200 period at the end of the day. So yes, a bad day, but not as bad as Tesla. But that is certainly going to be the first key question mark on my mind is, okay, fair enough, it got up above that pink line, but can it hold? Is it going to be able to maintain that level? So keep an eye on that dynamic. If it does not hold and the price falls back below it, then the next level of support to watch very closely is going to be down here at the 2185 mark, which was a previous breakout area. And then if that level can't quite hold up, next key level after that, down there around 2135. Now, if it does hold up and continues to rise back upwards, then the next key battleground to watch very closely is going to be that purple line there, 50 period moving average, currently valued at 2275. So all in all, some interesting dynamics are going on, but yeah, not a good start to the week at all. But interesting last 30 minutes, got some green. Does this green lead to anything more? That'll be an interesting question to kind of keep a note on during Tuesday morning. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more, then definitely get signed up for the free training. It'll be Thursday, later this week, December 8th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these things, please do 2 things for me. Hit that like button, leave a simple comment below. Tell me what you traded today. Tell me what you're watching tomorrow. But thanks for watching. Take care. Get signed up for that free training.